Hello, biology students. My name is Mr. Adair. I'm going to be your teacher this year. I teach two sections of biology, I believe period 1 and period 4. So this video is going out to all of you students. I think we're going to have a really good year. I'm actually really excited for it given the circumstances. Now, I would much prefer to be in person with you all and get to know you in person, but we'll do our best to get to know each other via distance learning and hopefully, if everything goes okay, we'll be potentially back in the classroom later this year. So you are in biology, the study of life. We'll learn a lot more about that. This introductory video, we're going to go over a little bit about me so you get to know me. And we're going to go over the weekly schedule and the syllabus so you have a good idea of what's going on as far as that goes. In some of these videos, I think I'm going to be wearing a hat because right now my hair is really long. Some of you can maybe relate due to being in quarantine. All right. So just a little bit about my background. I did grow up in Minnesota. I was actually born in Illinois, but I grew up mostly in Minnesota, just north of the Twin Cities. And I went to college in Duluth at the University of Minnesota Duluth, and I studied biology and education. I worked in the biology stock room and had many different jobs up there. But when it was finally time for me to do my student teaching, I did my student teaching in Costa Rica actually through a program called Global Student Teaching, which brought student teachers all over the world. And I chose Costa Rica because I am into biology, and Costa Rica is one of the most biodiverse countries that there are, really. And biodiverse means there's so many different types of plant species and animal species. So I knew a little bit of Spanish, and I used my Spanish to get around the country and relied on help from a lot of people. But after Costa Rica, I actually taught my first teaching job was in Baltimore, Maryland, and they really needed teachers out there, so they gave me a little bit of a signing bonus, extra money, and I was young and ready to travel the country a little bit, so I taught in Baltimore, Maryland. I lived kind of down by the harbor. It was quite beautiful, and I coached basketball and I coached track, and those students of mine now are on to doing many great things, and they're professionals and adults now. I still follow some of my old students from back then on social media. And then after a short stint of teaching in Baltimore, I did move to Montana and was the program director for a small nonprofit in beautiful Montana, the Rocky Mountains. Quite amazing. After Montana, I decided to move back home to be closer to family, and I've been at Como actually closer to 10 years now. I should change that, but I've been at Como for mostly 10 years. I teach biology, that's your guys' class, accelerated biology, and AP environmental science and general environmental science this year as well. These are two former students who graduated, wow, probably close to um, 4 or 5 years ago now, and these two students are actually graduated from college now, and they're doing some really cool things in the world too. All right, that's just a quick little thing about me, and we'll have time to get to know each other a little bit more too. Let me exit out of here. Okay, I'm gonna go to our Schoology page and kind of show you a few things. I might need to move this screen around a little bit. Um, okay, so this is biology class periods 1 and 4, and these two classes, periods 1 and 4, are going to be linked together. We'll be doing the same things. So our very first activity, which there's a video tutorial, it's the name tent, and you'll get to see every single, mostly 9th and 10th grader that's in our two different biology classes. So maybe you have some friends and you guys can join study groups. But for right now, I'd like to go through, let's start with our weekly schedule. So here's the PDF of our weekly schedule. And this will be hopefully pretty helpful for you to figure out, what your week looks like and things like that. Okay. So you may need to take a minute to just kind of absorb this information. I'm going to keep moving my face around because I don't like when it's covered, kind of. All right. So you're either in my period 1 or period 4 class. And this is how it's going to work. Your different teachers potentially will do this a little bit differently, but for the most part, you have asynchronous learning and then also synchronous learning. And what that means is asynchronous learning is where you go to your Schoology page, go to the weekly folders, and get your work done at your own pace and get your assignments turned in when they're due, but you don't have a teacher like teaching you directly. Synchronous learning is when there's a Google Meet set up and your teacher will go through a lesson or answer questions via Google Meet. So let's look at, if you're in period 1, our main times are Mondays and Thursdays. If you're in period 4, our main times are Tuesdays and Fridays. So what's going to happen for you guys is I'm going to give you your assignments on Sunday evening, and they're all going to be due the following Saturday evening. So essentially, your Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is your time to get work done, and there will be something for you to do every single day, for the most part, maybe not every week. And then, so if you're in period 1, go over to Thursday, and you'll see period 1 at 10:55 to 11:35. There's going to be a synchronous meeting time, and that's this Google Meet URL right here. For period 1, it's g.co/meet/CPHS Como Park High School, Adair P1. And if you type in that or go to the link, I will be there, and you can ask me questions. We can get to know each other better, but that's where we'll do our synchronous time. Period 4, we'll do ours on Friday from 11:40 to 12:20. Okay, but maybe you want to get in touch with me on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday because you just want to say hi, or you have a question about biology. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'll be sitting in a Google Meet, and any of my students, whether it's biology, AP Environmental Science, General Environmental Science, can go in there and find me. I also would like to mention that if you need to touch base, emailing me, and that's my email's in the syllabus, we can set up a time to Google Meet one-on-one. That's convenient for you if you need extra help. A couple other things maybe your other teachers will mention. If you look at the weekly schedule, you have an advisory from 10:30 to 10:50 every day. And I highly encourage you to go to your advisory teacher. Your advisory teacher will have their own URL, and you'll hear the daily announcements. You can let them know how you're doing, check in, make sure things are going pretty smooth. Okay, that is the weekly schedule. Go through it, look at it, feel free to ask me questions about it. And this first week, I'll be available all my office hours, and then Thursday and Friday, of course. And if you really want to touch base, since it's the very first week, I can touch base at any moment, and we'll just make it work. Okay, let's go back to our intro folder. You need to view these things in order to get credit too. So we'll talk more about that later. All right, I changed the syllabus this year a little bit for you guys because we are in distance learning. Okay, so one of the main things for the syllabus is you can find my contact information here. This phone number at the moment goes to my classroom phone, and if you leave a voicemail, I will look at that voicemail and try to get back to you as soon as possible. Of course, you can email me at any time, and I'll do my best to get back to you within 24 hours. This part talks a little bit about synchronous. I highly recommend you join the synchronous part just so we can touch base. Okay, your course logistics. You will have a weekly Schoology folder, like I mentioned, and I'm going to assign you work Sunday night, and it's due the next Saturday. And there's going to be stuff you probably can keep up with every single day, but there's going to be 2 main assignments during that week. And whether that's quizzes, videos, things like that, it'll change as we go through. Now keep in mind, and please be patient with me, I'm still pretty new to distance learning, so So be patient if something's not working or if you feel like the class is either too slow or too fast. We'll try to get get the most out of it as possible. Okay, your formative work, that's like homework, projects, lab demos, things like that, discussion posts, 20% of your grade. Your summative work, your exams and quizzes will be worth 80% of your grade. So my late work policy is a little bit more lenient this year. If you don't get your work turned in by Saturday evening at that set time, it will be considered late and it will be automatically marked down 20%, which is kind of a lot. So you do want to get it in on time. However, I will accept late work for a 20% reduction up to a week before the end of the quarter. Now, with that being said, if you're not getting your work turned in, you're going to be getting phone calls from me, phone calls from the student support team, and it's going to be an issue. So one thing you really need to do is be very mature and try to get your work turned in on time and just keep up with it because it's very easy to like play video games, go on YouTube, and not do your schoolwork, and then all of a sudden you're behind a week or two, and then you feel defeated, and it's hard to get caught back up. Okay, do your own work. Don't copy other people's work. This is not about that. You need to learn the material so you can advance yourself and be a better student and person and hopefully take AP biology. A little thing about the course and the topics that we'll cover. So that in class school, my syllabus is a little bit more detailed and things like that. But for this distance learning, we're gonna just kind of keep it as basic as possible. The number one thing is that you keep up with your work. Okay, so this video, you learned a little bit about me, your teacher, Mr. Adair. You learned about the schedule, weekly schedule, and you learned a little bit about how to contact me and what's expected from the syllabus. So there'll be many more videos of me. You'll probably get sick of them, but I really look forward to a really good year with you guys, and I'm available. And we're kind of living during crazy times right now, just a lot going on in the world, and I want you to know that the reason I went into teaching is because I felt really my calling to be a support, be a mentor, be someone that my students can come to if they need to. So I am here for you as best as possible with this distance learning, and we'll be in touch more. Thanks. Bye.